And, well, he was the one who said.
Hello, everybody.
Gallipoli,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the fun show here at Big TV.
And we're
delighted to point out that our dear Kira Miner has rejoined us, sitting next to the Kira keyboard.
It's the Kira keyboard.
Yes.
Okay, still the Kira keyboard.
No longer the Kira Memorial keyboard.
Okay, memorial, which, because again, I'm alive. I think a memorial implies death.
Well, you know, we couldn't have proven that until tonight for quite a while.
That's true, I know. I'm in a whole new realm at the moment. I have missed you guys terribly, though, as you know. What are we getting here? What was that?
It means we're ready to go.
All right. Happy January.
Okay, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you,
yes,
you guys, too.
It is a new year.
It is a new year.
We'll know the first week in November what kind of year it is.
It sounds like it's going to be a tough one. The old Farmer's what is it called?
Almanac.
Almanac. I was going to say compact. Okay.
The old Farmer's Compact.
Yeah, that
Very
isn't
nice.
bad.
That's when they need to powder their nose on the way to the outhouse.
I don't know if you
They
knew
reach
this.
for the old Farmer's Compact.
That John Young, who passed away, the astronaut,
Yes.
he walked on the moon and he flew in space, but you didn't know maybe that he smuggled a corned beef sandwich onto the plane.
Which one? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Because he flew.
Kind of random piece of information there.
I think he's the only astronaut who commanded every capsule after Mercury.
Right.
And in other words, he captained, I think, a Gemini, an Apollo, and the shuttle.
Wait a minute, but NASA claimed that the breadcrumbs were bad for the equipment in the shuttles.
I'm sure they were.
But did it do anything to it? Did they
No,
actually have a problem?
they were proven wrong.
Okay.
And he got to eat his sandwich.
He got back in one piece.
Because it just sounds kind of ridiculous.
I don't know. It's okay.
A good friend of mine ran against the United States senator who had been an astronaut.
Oh.
And he had an interesting campaign slogan that was very successful. He said, "What on earth has he done for you lately?"
That's funny. That's cute. So who won?
My friend.
Excellent.
Yeah. Jeff Bingaman, the United States Senator from the state of New Mexico.
Yeah, you know, I hate to bring up something that's so close to all of this, but it has to do with a stolen vodka bottle that was found drained and dented in Denmark.
It's a very funny story, but you have to tell Kira why it's a funny story.
Yes, because that's just, I'm not getting that.
Well,
guy broke into a liquor store. He specifically targeted this bottle. He stole the bottle.
$1 million.
The bottle was worth something like $1.2 million because it was jewel encrusted and gold and all this kind of stuff. And then later, they find it. He drank the vodka and threw the bottle away.
Wow. That's crazy.
This is the Dumb Crook Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You know? Well, you know, mostly crooks are looking for alcohol, drugs.
Yeah, but
money for
seemed to
drugs.
have specifically chosen this bottle. Must have been pretty good vodka and made him forget why he stole the bottle.
Maybe.
You know?
Or it was more random than expected. Or he was just, ooh, pretty bottle.
Pretty
Maybe
bottle.
he had no context of how valuable it was.
Pretty bottle, tastes good.
Yeah. That's how they ended up for sure.
Here's a little thing is sitting here in the New York Times. I am there's sort of two unfortunate obituaries, at least to me, on this one page here. Brendan Byrne, the former governor of New Jersey.
I liked him.
Back when they elected people who weren't Chris Christie.
He was a real character. He had real character, too.
Yeah.
I listened to some of
This
the
was
little
before I
jokes
paid
there.
attention to the news.
No. He was 93.
Okay.
So
it's okay that I'm not aware of
yes,
this.
yes,
Okay, good.
yes,
Because I always feel terribly guilty when you guys talk about anything from like
compared to that guy in New
1970
Jersey.
below.
He was Harvard Law School class of 1951.
All righty then.
So he was sort of between Mike and I.
Okay.
And then the other one was a Yale's many-year football coach. In fact, he was the coach of Yale long enough to have won 10 Ivy titles. Carm Koza.
What
Carmen Koza.
a guy.
And again, this goes back because he was the coach of Calvin Hill, Brian Dowling.
These guys, they all went to the NFL, all of them. They were,
What's that?
Okay.
What's that cartoon? What's that comic strip in the papers where there's a guy called BD who wears a football helmet in the thing? Doonesbury.
Okay.
Doonesbury. Well, BD is Brian Dowling, is the one-time quarterback of Yale. Anyway, I played against his teams, so
So it stood out to you as
it stood out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a.
but you,
was a good
what
coach.
about the famous tie? You didn't tell her about the 29-20.
Harvard wins 29-29.
Yeah, you got that was a
Yeah.
victory, and it said
You
on
made a
the
tie?
paper.
Harvard wins 29-29. They scored 16 points in the last minute and 13 seconds of the game
wow.
to tie the game, and there were.
And give them all heartburn.
There
all
was,
the-
and
the
before the crowd left the stadium, they were handing out copies of the Crimson with the headline, Harvard wins 29-29. Now,
Wow.
what's that big movie star from Texas? He was on that team.
John, no,
I have no idea what
He
you mean
was,
with that.
not John Wayne.
he was Al Gore's roommate.
Oh yeah. He's
Yeah,
Okay. Still just way too obscure of a fact for me.
he's a big movie star.
Okay.
He is a big
Big,
one. Yeah.
big movie star.
Very good one too.
Yeah.
We'll
Did you
remember
ever
it.
see the Fugitive movie or
Yes.
those kind of things? Well, he plays the marshal who's checking
Okay.
the guy.
I
Anyway.
can see it in my head.
Anyway, he was an end in that team,
Yeah.
or I'm not sure he wasn't a defense. Anyway,
Okay.
I wasn't able to get a ticket to that game. That's how popular that game was.
The Golden Globe Awards. Did you get to see any of that?
I didn't, but I watched it this morning on CNN,
Oh, they
which does little, did happen to do a couple clips on
They
it.
did a lot of
I
backstage
watched
stuff and stuff.
Seth Meyers' opening monologue, and I watched Oprah's speech.
Oprah was powerful.
Yep, it was. Actually, I was hooping and hollering
They
in my
said
seat.
it was an opening for.
Donnie John.
To be president, yeah,
Yes.
she's warming us up.
Donnie John Jr. got his nose all out of joint about it,
Oh, it bothered-
NBC's pushing, that shows how prejudiced they are against the Trump administration. All they said was a future president. Does he not realize that there will be a
Exactly.
future president?
It can't be
at
him
some time?
forever. Well, and CNN actually showed a clip where Donald Trump in 1999 made a comment that Oprah should be if he were going to run, she'd be his VP. And so I think it was on Larry King or something like that.
I mean,
And so they immediately played that.
these Trumps are incapable of thinking beyond the end of their nose. They're just ridiculous.
if you were
Did you like
listening-
all the black gowns? Did you understand the black gowns?
Yeah, well,
And there was a few women who rebelled on the black gowns. I think there's going to be some fallout on that.
Well, one of them was the president of the Foreign Press Association.
It'll be interesting.
But actually, they were very attractive. I think there should be more black gowns. I mean, the men basically were all in black.
well, tell
Although
us
it
why
looked-
they were wearing black
Well,
gowns.
obviously, it was the current sexual harassment Me Too movement.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually called this, Time's Up or something like that. They've given it a
Something
name.
like that, yeah.
They were all wearing pins to
It some-
support
it
this.
somehow
Plus,
perhaps
they all were.
didn't quite catch on. Yeah. Even Christian Slater
What?
was wearing the pin.
Well, I think it was for everybody
Well,
because.
he's been accused.
Gotcha. Well, part of that too, the men that have come out when they've made a mistake and owned it and apologized and you believed them, a lot of us forgave them. And so, Louis C.K. actually gave the best apology out of all of them.
Yeah.
And if you read it and you read it sincerely, you're like, I understand. It's not okay. But we can get beyond this. And then there's ones where, it's rape, it's trapped in a room, it's cornered behind a bed. I'm never going to get over that. I'm never going to see that man as anything but a bad predator.
You mean rigging up your office where you can lock the door from your desk?
Yeah, exactly. What movie? That was off of a movie, wasn't it?
Matt Lauer.
Ah.
You know,
What
you
a
can lock
stink-
the door while sitting at your desk.
Yeah,
you
what
know,
a stinker.
Do you know he was replaced
Yeah.
by a woman?
Yes,
And-
I like that.
And
too.
they're talking about the, the Miss America pageant stuff that went down recently. That they replaced whoever it was with a female, but it was actually a woman who had received a settlement in the Roger Ailes.
Oh,
So
oh really?
yes,
Another
so they're
monster.
lifting up a lot of these women who had
Meaning
to take.
this was a Fox reporter.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Well, Miss America you can roll your eyes at that too. I don't have any awareness of the industry, but it was interesting to hear all, just the back talk about it, the fact of the way they were talking about the contestants, and it's just, I know it's a lot to hear right now, all of the stuff coming out. The thing is, it's been rampant forever.
it's okay.
You know?
It's ready to be out there. Three billboards. That one. That's the one I won
Three
the drama.
billboards
back-
outside of something, Missouri.
Yeah, outside of Missouri.
And yeah, that was the Frances McDormand movie.
McDonough.
McDormand.
Not Fargo.
Yeah.
What
McDermott.
did I miss something on that? Yeah.
Yeah, she just won Best Actress
Ah,
at the Golden Globes.
Gotcha. Clearly, my mind wandered.
And the movie is this strange movie, Three Billboards Outside of something, Missouri. I can't remember the name. I liked her saying, "We're still filling the seats in brick and mortar theaters," and call me old-fashioned, but I like that. Interestingly enough, I would swear her dress was blue, but I don't know.
All right. I would have to go look.
But it was, you
It
know,
was on that edge enough
I'm-
that she might have.
I'm
It was a
not-
blue
I'm not
black.
sure.
Could have been a blue black.
It could have been.
It could have been a blue black.
It could have been. Well, she gave a good speech anyway, so that would
Okay.
that would do it. Yeah, the movie had one person who didn't show up, which was, I can't
You really
Was it one of the accused?
names. You know, I don't remember names.
like
That's-
what?
Yes, you
man?
do. You remember everything.
You know,
That's dementia. You can't remember. I got that. You can't claim that for yourself.
yes. Well, that's why I ask you to diagnose the current occupant because
Okay,
it
yeah.
takes one to know one, right?
Thank you.
I mean, isn't going out and claiming
Gonna trip you. when you get
claiming to be
outside,
a stable genius, isn't that a sign of dementia?
No, it sounds perfectly normal
That's a
to
sign
me.
of extreme narcissism, Arch.
Well, it's paranoid narcissism at this
Fair
point.
enough.
You know,
Extreme, paranoid, narcissism is still the catch.
demented, narcissistic, paranoid dunce.
Yes, sounds about right. Hey,
Isn't that Dutch
I have a question.
narcissists? You plant them in a pot or something?
a Dutch narcissist you plant in a pot? Is
yeah.
Yeah, you get those at Christmas time.
Oh, okay.
You get
yeah.
those at Christmas
Yeah, I
time.
used to. They would do it for the teacher.
We
with a
call
vote.
them paperweights.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
is that what it is? Oh, wait,
Narcissus.
I have a question. Last week, did you guys discuss that Friday was Michael's birthday?
No.
No, but
You
I don't
didn't.
want to get into that because
Why?
I'm 39. You know, that's the
Got
way
it.
it works.
Okay, because I was kind of wondering, how I'm going to feel when I'm of a certain age and people are like, how old are you? I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to answer that question anymore.
No,
it's
don't
none of your
answer.
business.
Don't answer.
So is that how you feel?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then I will respect your space and your age.
Jack Benny was 39 for how
For-
many years?
for
70
80
years.
years.
78 years. Yeah.
Not 80 years, maybe 70 years.
But Obama's going to be at MIT.
Oh, yeah?
Doing what?
Yeah. He's going to give a speech on technology and the social media or something.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that'll drive Donnie crazy.
Yeah, it will. I hope.
Did you
so.
actually say his name out loud?
No, I
No,
said a diminutive form
right.
of his.
It was
of his
it
name.
was a little close. Like I got like shudders.
That
and
was-
I'm really
that
my
was-
stomach
that was
kind of
too
rolled
close?
over. It was a little close for my comfort. Maybe we should move into the play, because it's 7:15.
Oh.
Look,
close.
time flies when we're having so much fun.
for you.
But this is a long play, and we want to make sure
Actually, ladies and gentlemen, Kira has arrived back announcing that she's even bossier than she was before.
Can you feel it? Are you
and
getting
now,
it?
And now she's demonstrated it. So
Wait a minute, that's
however,
the path from
you are
law
right.
school.
Thank you.
You were right.
It is the path from law school.
Yeah.
You
It
get
is.
used to. They tell you it doesn't matter whether you're right or you're wrong. You just have to believe that you are right and stick with it.
That's
They
it.
don't want you to back down. Don't cower. Be wrong and be strong.
a friend of mine and I, we used
Justice Thomas. Also.
we used to work the moot courts at Suffolk. I think it was Suffolk. And we'd sit there as jurors, and then when it was all over, the student lawyers who had been doing the thing were told to sit down, and we critiqued their stage presence.
That's awesome.
You know,
We've
we
had a
said-
couple classes like
we
that.
said, you stood too close. They won't listen to you if you're that
Very
close.
good.
You did this and that.
No,
It was
it's
funny.
invaluable knowledge.
So we did theatrical education for trial lawyers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Big TV Unrehearsed Lesbian Society's presentation for this evening, which came out of a undated part of the vault. It's a particularly good
It was
piece
very
of
Paper
work.
is yellow.
Very
If that gives
dusty, I
you
want you to
any
know.
perspective.
And it is entitled Threesome. Don't get excited. Don't
Really?
get excited.
Really? He sets me up for this stuff.
Well, it used to be Magnetic 4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What's he doing?
He's thinking.
Keeps him busy?
For the past 3 weeks,
Remember, you invited him.
compassion for an impoverished writer.
I don't know, he looks reasonably healthy.
But it's cold out.
Good.
You really don't care.
Three's a crowd.
But he's clean.
So's my underwear.
That's debatable. Show a little sympathy.
He's a squatter
He'll leave soon.
with free room and board available.
What's a 6-letter word that begins with H?
Oh,
He
God,
must.
he must be hungry.
Perfect.
Aren't we clever?
Elementary, my dear woman.
Just finishing a mental crossword puzzle.
Oh, yeah? In a vertical configuration?
Such sparkling repertoire.
That does it.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that's over.
Well, I've been working on a song title.
That's wonderful, Fitz.
Is the song about washing dishes?
I guess I've been negligent with the chores.
We didn't want to interrupt your work.
Could you hum or sing a little of this great song?
Well, it hasn't been written yet.
Isn't that rather important for a title?
It's very creative.
Well, if the song never gets written,
At least we'll always have the name of a beautiful song.
I get all choked up just thinking about it.
Well, that's how I feel too, Wilbur.
Why is this happening to me, Lord?
Wilbur's having an epiphany.
What happened to his configuration?
You're so
Naive?
yes.
I'm filled to the brim.
Oh, good. He's lost his appetite.
There's so many new words.
Pizza again?
You guys are such an inspiration.
That's a lovely compliment, dear.
Diverticulosis, appendectomy, cardiac infarction, psychosis, and pizza. How do you like it?
Unusual.
I hope it's not the name of a movie.
Stroke. I wrote that last year.
I'm having one tonight.
So a large one with everything?
Hold the garlic and the onions and the scallions
But that's what gives pizza ambience.
and heartburn for me.
Oh, live a little old man.
Death is so final, Wilbur.
How dare
He
you?
was only joking.
I don't like the way you look so.
Listen, you interloper.
Why don't I cook you some oatmeal?
Why don't you pack up and leave?
You didn't mean that, Wilbur.
He's a lazy layabout.
Well, if that's how you feel.
Take Martha's money and leave.
I thought the carjacking was behind us.
That's right, Wilbur. Here's the money.
No, that's not mine.
Why are you jealous, Wilbur?
Ridiculous.
That's a good one.
What's so funny, old man?
Me and Martha.
And you find that laughable?
Well, you look older than Wilbur.
Now I see the humor, Fitz.
Two male chauvinists, I'm surrounded.
I'll save you from him, darling.
I opened my heart to both of you.
She needs an angioplasty or at least a bypass.
Are those new drinks?
No, you fool.
Maybe I didn't go to college, but I'm very cerebral.
And egregious.
Vacillates a lot.
What's happening?
We're starting anew.
What do you really want from us, Fitz?
Food and shelter.
That's it.
Well, the opportunity to stretch my imagination.
But Fitz, your rubber band's so small.
You've lost me.
We like you, but we're not a social services agency.
Oh, well said, Martha.
Thank you.
Then you've given up on me?
In a word, yes.
But don't be discouraged.
There's a place for all living things,
I'm human.
Of course, Fitz.
but our patience has eroded.
Nice sound. What's it mean?
Start packing, kid.
My flat is not that big.
Please don't do this.
Adversity sharpens genius.
Is he trying to humiliate me?
No, Fitz.
You need an incentive to succeed.
So you're kicking me out?
Actually, yes.
Well, I don't think it's fair.
Have you ever considered how we feel?
We do have our own lives, Fitz.
What's left of them, youngster?
It's your duty to help those less able.
Sorry, we gave to the United Way.
Well, what about me?
You have to get on.
You have to get on with your life, too.
I like the way she finishes my sentences.
Yeah.
Your wife and children are alive, and they need you.
So that's how it is.
We all have obligations, Fitz.
While some choose to ignore them,
But it's my muse.
let her help you then.
I'm beginning to understand, guys.
Oh, God, it's a long process. It's called growing up.
That was unnecessary.
No, he's right, Martha, but I still have a knife. I got this knife
Yeah,
in my
well, my
sleeve.
button is bigger.
Oh, I can be very violent.
We're used to the sight of blood.
Yeah.
At the doctor's office?
How do you know I'm not a serial killer?
Well, you haven't made it to the post office wanted wall yet.
You're being irrational.
She says you're not making sense.
You don't have to translate for
It's
me.
demeaning.
And dehumanizing.
You know, he could also use a deodorant.
Ah, he's getting silly.
I don't like it, mister.
Now we're getting somewhere with this punk.
You provoked him.
Well, if that's how you feel, I'll go.
At last.
Will you shut up, Wilbur?
What about free speech?
But first, I want to thank you both.
So long.
I won't ever forget your kindness.
Forever is a very long time.
He's trying to be sincere, Wilbur.
You've made me take an honest look at myself.
Finally.
Shut up, Wilbur.
I know I've got problems, but I needed time to solve them.
Not here.
But I'm making progress with you.
Living elsewhere will provide a new insight, my boy.
I can see that.
Perhaps we should give him...
He's moving on, Martha.
Why so cold?
One of us is going, Martha.
At least he has his own place.
You make it sound so final. Either or.
He's still an adolescent.
And has to learn accountability. I know.
You too?
Wilbur does care.
Yeah.
So,
Fitz, put down the knife, Fitz.
why?
Because this is my persuader.
I can't believe this.
Oh, I can't, yeah. You'd shoot me?
Can the bull. I was in the service. World War II.
He's serious, Fitz.
Give me an excuse, kid.
Yeah, you would.
Right. Now take your stuff.
It didn't have to end this way.
Yeah, well, maybe sending you to the hospital would have been better.
That's cruel.
But we're waiting, and don't try anything.
I needed this, and I'm glad you're sticking to it.
Okay, great.
Wilbur, please.
You didn't order the pizza.
God, he wants a Last Supper.
Blackout. Very nice, gentlemen.
I like that one.
I miss you guys.
Okay, very good.
So that was fun.
How we doing?
okay.
I'm fighting a cold here, and
The restaurant owners hereabouts are all complaining about few diners and the terrible cold. They can't understand What this?
Why people don't want to come out in the cold to go
Yeah.
have dinner?
Anybody who had a warm house stayed in it.
Yeah, because you just dial Grubhub and they bring you food or any of those other things,
Would
or
the
Amazon delivers fresh the next day.
Would the restaurants be complaining that they were, if they were getting a lot of Grubhub orders? I don't know.
No, I don't. I
Well,
kind of.
traffic, the foot traffic still is their, you know, you have both profits.
The guys that deliver the takeouts, they don't want to go either. It's cold outside.
Oh,
You know. Well,
Yeah,
that's
well,
the nature of
I
the
must-
job, though,
I
right?
must,
Okay.
I must say, in this weather, I did in fact do that a couple of times. But I was a little.
I called it.
But I was a little generous on the tips.
Oh.
When you see the
That
people,
was very thoughtful.
people actually got me hot food. It was still warm, and I looked at the conditions they were in and the temperature,
That was
and I
kind.
thought they deserve
No,
a tip.
I want to bring up a subject that this young lady next to us has a great deal of knowledge about. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, he says he's on ending war on marijuana. And
Ending war,
anybody
he's declaring
He's
war. on
declaring
marijuana.
war.
who smokes or sells it or raises it should be arrested. Criminal offenses and
This isn't going to work out for him.
it's not going to work out. There
It's
were
not gonna
27
work out.
states that said
It's just not going to work out for
And
him.
probably scared Eric Trump more than the Mueller investigation.
Maybe. I don't know anything would scare them more than that investigation.
Anyway, talking politics,
Yeah.
our state rep, Frank Smisek, has announced that he's not going to run for re-election.
What was he doing?
How many years has he got in?
State rep,
How many
What
years
does
has
that
he
mean?
got in?
What is he in
state
the?
representative.
How
So,
many years does he
describe.
have?
Go ahead.
Well, he's going to have his pension.
Anyway, so
Is he
I
going to
want
have
more
his pension?
information.
probably.
I wanted a
But-
definition.
So we have a couple of candidates coming along.
Oh, you could run.
No, I'm not running.
right.
I'm not running.
Are you still doing different? You know, I
Yes,
mean,
he's putting up
your
si-
different things.
signs. He
He
puts
puts
up-
up signs. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, well, you matter. You
put
make
up-
sure
put up
that
signs.
your community knows that it matters to you, so
who
you
else-
actually
who
get
else-
out there
you know
and do
people
stuff.
that actually are lining up and getting
Yes,
signatures?
Tommy Vitolo is running.
Oh.
Tommy Vitolo. And then there's a woman from the school committee who's running. And since you know how I feel about the school committee, I'm not giving her any consideration at all.
I want to know why Smisek is leaving.
Okay, who's that? Okay.
Because it's
He's the rep.
long enough. Play, sir.
Oh?
Is it time?
Yes?
Is it
No,
quite time?
No, we
I
still
get
got
like-
another minute.
Play. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene.
We're changing the song here.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, Irene. Good night, everybody, from the
Irene.
Fun Show here at Big TV. We're delighted to be back here for this new year, and we hope to see you repeatedly. And our best intention at the moment is that Kira will be with us again
Yay!
next week.
One more,
So
again, one more Monday before
tell
it's
your
back to
friends,
reality.
throw a party, have a viewing party, and we'll see
You don't have
when
to
we
wear
get there.
black here.
I think I'm going to have to start wearing all black again in support
think you
of
will?
being
Don't
showing
do it.
solidarity.
Don't do it.
It's my natural color anyway.
It's your natural color
Yeah, it
anyway.
really
yeah,
is.
that's
It's
right.
not going to be a hard transition for me,
Be
but
set.
I got to show my part.
Okay.
So what were you going to say?
I was going to say that Dombrowski isn't signing up a hitter for the Red Sox yet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you're starting to talk about the Red Sox, huh?
Yeah, and the Celtics are winning. So
well-
we don't and even the Bruins are winning games.
Yes, Belichick says
Alrighty then.
Belichick says he'll be back.